Hello fellow YouTubers. I've still got a frog in my face. Well, Murphy. Yibbit, yibbit. It happened when I was doing a live stream too. Had to call it quits. That was only a trial run. Excuse me a minute. Hello fellow YouTubers. It's been another very warm and humid day today, a Thursday. October 25. And it's, well, it rhymes with duck. Duck, 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 duck. It's been one of those days. Ribbit, ribbit. Oh dear. Yes, what happened was I got up early because my dearly beloved wanted to go into town. But she also wanted to go to Pet Barn. And she wanted to go to Bunnings. And to Woolworths. And to J-Car, which is an electronics store. Well, we had to go there first. And J-Car is about 5k northwest as the crow flies, but it's about 7 or 8k by going by road. And of course, when you go by road, you've got to go through roundabouts and traffic lights. And being a Thursday, there's always a lot of traffic around. Too much traffic. Too many people. I don't like it. I got to the point at the end, I said, I can't stand this anymore. Too many. The girl said, well, why don't you go up to the mountain then? She was talking about my cousin's mountain on his property. And I said, it's too hot. She said, you can't wait to get rid of me. Anyhow, that was for later on. So we drove out to, it's called the Bailey Centre. And it has a service station, 24/7 service station. And it's on the highway. Pacific Highway, Highway National 1. And behind it there are about 7 or 8 shops. There's the J-Car electronics shop, which is was a bit like Dick Smith, only I think it's better. But, no disrespect to Dick Smith. And there's this big pharmaceutical warehouse, chemist. And there's Chinese restaurant and other stores as well, and there's a car wash. It's very, very popular. Too popular. But on a Thursday, we drove in and the cars are all lined up. There's not a parking spot to be found. There's an area at the front where there's cars can park back to front, like front, double is what I'm trying to say. And they were all full, and there's along the shops there, they were all full. And the car was static. They just weren't even going anywhere. The ones looking for parks. And the horn started to blare, and I'm getting really angry. I said to God, you might as well get out here and go to J-Car, which he did. And I said, I'll go around the back and see if I can find a park. And eventually, after about 10 minutes, it felt like half an hour. Traffic started to move out. And I went around the back, and there weren't any parking spots. So I had to drive all the way around the block, and this meant stopping instead of traffic lights to get on the highway. I had to wait there like a shag on a rock. And then it was off again, back into the Bailey Centre, where I was able to find a park straight away in the first section where there were 2 rows of vehicles slotted straight in there. And then I walked to J-Car, about 100 metres or so, and I went inside and got just to finish getting what she had to get a universal remote, because the remote control for her Hitachi TV in her bedroom had spat the dummy. This is going to be a long video, because believe me, I've got a lot of, well, there's a lot of ducking going on, I can tell you. And she bought a stand for her big magnifying glass that she has over her computer, because as you know, her eyesight is deteriorating. Well, the box that the stand came in was about so, but it was pretty big. It's probably about, well, anyhow, when I picked it up, it was heavy. And she said, "You're going to be all right." I said, "Oh, yeah, let's go." And I shoved it on my shoulder and walked out. Well, I hadn't gone more than about 40 metres and I just lost my breath. I became breathless. And I put it down on the top of a brick pier. And this gentleman came along and said, "Would you like me to take that to the vehicle for you?" And I said, "That would be very nice of you." And he did. So I followed them and we got to the line of cars and I said, "Well, just go ahead, straight ahead. And as soon as you get to that car there, hang a right and you'll see the red Kia." And I said, and that's when I got breathless again and I gave my wife the car keys. I said, "I've got to stop here." I did. So I bent over and I'm puffing, trying to catch my breath. And there's a little espresso unit, a small unit, I think maybe it's a portable unit, at the side of the service station. And a chap came out, had his arm in a sling, and he said, "Would you like to come into this unit inside and have a seat?" It was very decent, I think, and generous. I said, No, I'll be okay." And I suppose it must have taken me 5 minutes or so. I had enough breath to walk to the car. And then that gentleman had already started walking towards his vehicle, and I thanked him again. And I got to the car and had to remain standing up a couple of minutes, and then I got in and we drove away, but we had to go around the block again because that was the only way to get back onto the highway. Pardon me. And then it was off to the supermarket, and I said to my dearly beloved, well, it was hard pressed getting the parking spot right at the end of Little Street, which is Little Street's here, and then straight across there's some shops, and then there's an alleyway that goes to a street where Woolworths is in. So I said, "You're going to have to go there by yourself." I said, "I've got to stay here." So I did, and she must have been gone for 10 or 15 minutes of the game. I'm just sitting there like a shag on a rock, wishing I was someplace else. And finally she came back, and when she put the bags in the back of the vehicle that's got a tailgate, she bang! And I said, "What do you have to slam that for? You always slam that tailgate." "Oh," she said, "I can't catch it when it comes down." I said, "We want to be more careful." I was really pissed off. Anyhow, she got in the car and off we went. She said, "You don't have to go home now. I didn't get anything that can go off," which was a good thing. She said, "We'll go out to Bunnings." So we went to Bunnings. And she said, "I'm just going to go and get some more plants." Of course, every time she goes to Bunnings, she gets plants. No potting mix, but she got plants. They're always on, they get these little $2 specials. So she got 6 of those. And I'm waiting and waiting in the car. And eventually she comes back and says, the gentleman said this manufactured stuff, this decking stuff, it's made out of bamboo and a composite, and it's great for outdoor stuff. And she said, they now only come in 2.7 metre lengths, which is 9 feet. She said, "I need to get them cut in half." So I thought, well, I can't have her carrying that. So I got out of the car and went in to the area where they have all the timber. It's a massive area. Huge area. Anyhow, we got there and got them cut in half. And then I said, "Where are the flowers?" She said, "Oh, they're in a trolley waiting by the counter." I had to go into the store and had to pay for that stuff. And then we got to the car and put it all in. I'm getting tired just talking about it. And then, I know this is boring as hell. Yeah, I know it's boring. Worse than watching paint dry and grass grow. What have I been on for? Over 9 minutes. Anyhow, you're probably laughing at me. I hope you have a laugh anyhow. I wasn't laughing. I did laugh at a comment I got from Glenn in Arizona. He started reading the book, and he said there's a part in the book where a Clyde is watching this little boy next door, the little shit that he is, and he's got a paddling the ball on a rubber string, and it's, and before that he'd been ping 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 in a basketball in a concrete driveway, and this annoys Clyde to the nth degree. And Glenn said, "Ping ping ping, whack whack whack." Well, it's whop whop whop, but that's okay, it's close enough. Well, I laugh my head off because every time I think of that or someone's mentioned that, I laugh my head off. It's very, very funny. But I'm a funny guy. You can imagine living next door to a little shit. We used to have one here. Yeah, next door. They'd come out with a basketball and ping it up and down the bloody driveway. Drive you nuts. Ping, 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 ping. Oh, God, I'm glad they're gone. and there's an older woman in there, has been now for quite some time. Yeah, and a paddle. Could you just imagine what it was like? A paddle with a paddle and a ball on a bungee type string. Wop, 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 wop. Oh, talk about ducking. Not this sort of ducking, was it? Duck, duck, duck. And, oh yes, I digressed again. I think you expect that of me by now, don't you? So off she said, well, all right, the blue said, why don't we go to Subway? Yeah, I said, Subway? Well, Subway's up further up. Oh, she said, yeah, that's right. But it was too late. I'd already stopped to turn left onto the highway from Bunnings to go to. So, and there's a lot of traffic around. And of course, in front of me are two big-ass buses, and I hate sitting behind a big-ass bus or a truck or a caravan. I hate a big ass in front of me. But there we waited, and of course, when you get the arrow to turn right into the Isles Drive, it doesn't last very long. And I think one bus got through, but the other didn't. So I had to wait another 5 minutes, sitting around like a shag, and just as well there's air conditioning in the vehicle. And then we got around to where she wanted to get a Subway. It's on one of these, part of one of these big service centres you have on highways. There's a big service station, and then there's all these, there's McDonald's and Gloria Jean and Subway and Red Rooster and all sorts of things, you know, all sorts of things. So we go in there and we get our Subway. I don't mind Subway, now and then. And then she said, well, now all we've got to do is go to Pet Barn to pick up the doggies' worm and flea and tick medication, and it wards them off. I had to go and had to get off the highway and park there. Duck, 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 more waiting. Oh, duck, duck, duck. Yeah, it rhymes with duck, remember. Another 5 minutes sitting there like a shag on a rock, waiting. And she comes out and she got them on special, $70 off, but they still cost her $140 for 2 packets. Dear stuff. Yeah, pet guard sort of thing, I think it is. But you gotta do this for the dog. I'd sooner not have a dog. Sooner not had a cat either. I don't want any pets, but that's the way it is. I gotta grin in bed. Well, there's 13 minutes gone. So that's the sort of day I had. Duck, 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 duck. Anyhow, I'm dry, excuse me. Oh, I was glad to get home. Had the Subway. I only had half it and had half for dinner. But what I do is after speeding the I don't like eating those things really cold. So I get out the toaster oven and put a little bit of butter on the top and bottom of the roll and stick it in and squash it down. Well, wouldn't you know it? Yeah, yes. Instead of just going straight down, the top slid off, didn't it? So the toaster oven, instead of sitting flat, sitting up like this. Can't win. You couldn't win. It's been one of those bloody days. Oh, good grief. And then I noticed that the boot, but that's the phone. Now, I don't know how this is happening, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to answer the phone. This is a message. And it's one new message. It's from Dill Gray, shared a photo on Facebook. Well, that's fine, Dill. I would check Facebook. But how did these suddenly get on my phone? You know, it's to go back to get onto Facebook and check it out. You know, Dill Gray's a lovely lady. That's fine. But how did Facebook it's only happened in the last month. How did Facebook get my phone number, my mobile number, and put these things on? Anyhow. Hey, duck, 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 duck. Duck it. Duck it. All right, I'll do a bit of a reading. Okay, and what had happened with it? Oh, you're talking about Jeremy had been talking about going to the dentist and how risky it would be driving the car. Even though you'd only be behind the wheel for a few minutes, but a lot could happen in that short period of time. That's absolutely true. But what if it was pouring with rain? And what then? Jeremy would say that he should have the tooth filled, adding that she really needs the needle. And if she really needed the needle, with all the work she had done, then he probably wouldn't need the needle and he could drive. Well, it all depends, doesn't it, how touchy the tooth is. But then she's never had a toothache. And because she's never had a toothache and wouldn't need the needle, and because she's never had a toothache, she wouldn't need the needle. But of course, she wouldn't. Duck it. Now, having a filling wasn't an option as far as Jeremy was concerned. He'd had but 3 in his time, and all 3 had parted company with their host at the most inopportune of times, leaving up Shit Creek without a paddle, suffering excruciating pain, while he desperately sought emergency treatment, and Jeremy swore he'd never have a filling again. Yes. Happened to me once on a hunting trip. Yeah, filling party company with a toast, and the pain. The long weekend turned out to be an excruciating, painful weekend, but thank goodness for Beck's powder, because I was able to have that packet of Beck's in my backpack, and for emergencies, of course. And powder on the tooth, it helped, and it helped take away the pain by swallowing a little thing. You remember those Beck's powders and Vincent powders? Doreen would remind him, but of course she would, that he wasn't getting any younger and should take better care of his teeth. But be damned if he was going to fill the crop of any dentists for the work they thought needed to be done, when what he had in his mouth had served him well for more than 50 years, with only the occasional hiccup. Then I thought, David will give me a ride if he's home, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind picking me up afterward. Probably wouldn't mind waiting, if he happened to find a parking space. And if he's not home, I'll walk no matter what the weather. Then I'll catch a cab home if push comes to shove. With his thought process finished, and his mind at rest, Jeremy thought it might be a good idea to wander next door and make sure if his friend was home. He expected he would be now that David worked from home, but there's also the possibility that he might be out and about, for there had been dramatic changes in the Marlowe home since David's near-death experience, something Jeremy was still finding hard to come to terms with even now. On their second visit to the hospital, Jeremy and Doreen had expected to find a somewhat dejected and morose individual lying in bed, but the person that greeted them was anything but. Ruth would say his recovery was nothing short of another miracle, and for a moment or two Jeremy would have agreed with her, seeing him then compared to only 18 hours previously, sitting up all smiles and as bright as a button, holding her left hand. But when the pleasant shock of those first few moments passed, he was back to his normal self, his head out of the clouds and his feet firmly planted on the ground. But after the usual inquiries and par for the coarse pleasantries, and the time Jeremy expected to be standing looking on in silence, something happened that was so beyond his wildest imaginations that he wondered if David's physical well-being had been compromised his mental health. For it wasn't so much that David was talking, and talking with a capital T, but rather what he was talking with a capital T about. 20 minutes, holy smoke. Jeremy could understand that following such a rude awakening to one's mortality, common sense would dictate changes to a person's way of life. But the change in the man Jeremy had known for 20 years wasn't just extreme, it was downright scary. David had seen the light. The light. The light that had taken him far away from all the pain and suffering and comforted him during his desperate time of need. You know what light I'm talking. To a place that had set him free of his earthly confinement and had him hovering above and looking down at himself being attended to, and somehow knowing that his time as yet hadn't come. I'm a changed man, Jeremy and Doreen. This was meant to happen. It's God's way of giving wretched souls such as me a second chance. Oh, good old Jeremy come to. She's brainwashed him, Jeremy thought. She sat by his bedside holding his hand while reading scripture and verse from the good book. Talk about sleep therapy. I was just too blind to see, but now I see everything so clearly. No more smoking and drinking and bad eating habits for me from now on. I'm going to lose weight and exercise regularly, and I'm going to help Ruth with her charity work. And if I can arrange to work from home, I will. And if by chance I can't, I'll quit and do something else. God will guide me. What? Jeremy blurted out. You're going to do what? I don't believe what I'm hearing. That's because you're a non-believer, Jeremy, Ruth said. But you believe, don't you, Doreen? I believe in God, if that's what you mean. Of course you do, Ruth quipped. Now all we have to do is to convert Jeremy. Oh, it's a little spider running near the computer. You'd have more of a chance of raising the Titanic. You sure your medication hasn't addled your brain, David? You shouldn't scoff, Jeremy, Ruth said. Maybe you might see the light too, one day. Oh, every day and night, Ruth, Jeremy replied. Then without hesitation and deliberate provocation, he added, daylight and electric light. Now you're being sarcastic, Jeremy. I don't like that, Ruth retorted, spitting venom. And that was all Jerry managed to say before Doreen interrupted him, which is probably a good thing. And I think we should be leaving, she said. You look good, David. I'm happy everything has gone so well for you both. And we'll see you soon. Good night. Yeah, good night, Jeremy said, even though he was a little reluctant to do so. They walked briskly to their car, and once Stephen buckled up, Jeremy said, Jesus Christ, can you believe that crap? You should not take the name of our Lord in vain, Jeremy. I don't like that, Doreen said. Then lightly punched his shoulder and started to laugh. Oh, good one, Doreen. Then Jeremy started laughing too. I'll leave it at there, we were all laughing. And I'm going to... Oh, duck, 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 duck. I want to thank you for watching and listening. Yes, it's going to be a long video. Until next time, I did mention on the live stream that my dearly beloved wants me to build a little bridge for the back pond. I had it all thought out. I was going to do it nice and neat. I was going to go to the nearest exhaust shop, and I was going to get a 1-inch exhaust pipe, and I was going to get them to bend it for me into a nice little arch, 2 pieces. And then I was going to put this manufactured wood on, stuff on, the bamboo and acrylic thing. But what does she do? You won't believe. I'll show it to you. You won't believe what she's done. What she wants. But it'll... Anyhow. So until next time, which will probably be tomorrow, and I'll give you a look. And I'm also at the bridge thing that she wants. And also I've had a request from a dear friend to show what our decimal currency looks like. I'll be able to do that. The whole kit and caboodle, I would think. Even though 1 and 2 cent coins are now gone the way of the dodo, I think I've got 1 and 2 cent coins. I'll just show you what they look like. But anyhow, I'm getting ahead of myself. So until next time, bye for now.